Hey folks, Chris once again. This is another request, a paid request actually, from Don't Eat My Pizza, and I want to say thank you for that. I always get humbled when someone sends me in a paid request. And he wanted me to react to 5 things you need to know before bringing your kids to Halloween Horror Nights. I'd never take my kid to that place. Of all the images and pictures I've seen of the thing that goes on in that house, I love to go, but I'd never ever take my kid there until he's like 18. But let's check it out. Yay.
Horror Nights fastly approaching and everybody planning their trips. For some of you, that means bringing your kids along with you. In this video, we're going to go over everything that you need to know about bringing your kids with you to HHN.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get my dirty clothes or clean clothes. But yeah, don't take your kids to Halloween Horror Nights, man.
To the channel and another Halloween Horror Nights video. We all know that Halloween Horror Nights can be a very intense event, especially for younger audience. Halloween Horror Nights recommends those who are visiting the event to be of 13 years of age or older. However, there isn't an age limit of those who can visit the event.
Yeah, we've seen our fair
There should be, though. There fucking should be.
share of young fans at the event, like even babies. We personally don't recommend bringing your baby to the event.
Do you not know what babysitters are or anything, people? Do not bring your kids to this, man. You'll give them nightmares for years.
Unless your baby demands it.
They do all my nights. So we'll be discussing 5 tips for taking your kid to Horror Nights to ensure that they have a great time.
Now, starting off with our first major tip, and this one actually begins way before the event starts, and that is to let your kids know in advance. You don't want to surprise them with a visit to HHN, mother. Unless your kids are into that stuff, then maybe a surprise could be fun. So
there's 2 really great ways to get your kid.
They're in for a big ass, scary, nightmare fuel-inducing surprise. I'll tell you guys that much.
Prepared
Parents.
for HHN. The first is to have them get involved in the planning of your visit. So have them plan out what houses and scare zones they want to go through, maybe pick out a few snacks that they want to try out, and a few rides that you can go on while you're there as well.
And that is a tip later in this video we will dive more into.
And then the second way to get them prepared is to show them videos of the event from YouTube. So there are plenty of videos on YouTube of
Maybe if you have like a big screen TV, you have like surround like really big speakers. Maybe it'll let the kids know what they're into, what they're getting into, I guess. But
the houses and the scare zones from past years, and you can have them watch those to get a good idea of what it's like and how scary it will be.
Now, this is just a little side pro tip for you parents. Be sure to stay updated on the events announcements when it comes to the houses and scare zones. And the reason being behind that, back in 2019, HHN had Ghostbusters, Stranger Things, and Killer Clowns as houses, which they weren't like frightening houses. They were
Stranger Things and Killer Clowns aren't kids' movies, you guys. They're rated R for a reason.
pretty fun to go through. We enjoyed them. So your kids have a higher chance of actually enjoying those experiences from those houses versus probably some of the other more like intense houses.
Moving on to our second major tip, which is to bring some headphones or earplugs. So this event...
No, don't do that. That'll make it even more, that'll make the experience even more intense for them, man. Don't give them anything to close their ears. They can literally see and look around, and they can touch, and if they touch you, they'll get scared even more, so they can't fucking hear it.
It's very loud, especially especially inside the houses, and the noise level can be a little uncomfortable for kids.
Even adults have a hard time with the noise level in these houses.
Having some earplugs or headphones can help the kids feel more comfortable and protected, and we have seen both kids go through with headphones and without headphones, and the difference in their reactions is pretty noticeable.
And trust me when I say this, the ones who did not have those headphones look like they almost had a near-death experience. Now our third major tip is to make
I wonder why, guys.
sure that you and your kids have eaten before the event starts.
If there's gonna be blood or a gore section of the haunted house, they're gonna pick it right back up after they eat it. Cause I've seen pictures of these houses, and if they get scared or see something that's gonna give them nightmares, they're not gonna. Because I've had that kind of experience with certain stuff, and I puke my food right after I saw something before eating. But taking your kids into a haunted house after they've eaten and seeing something that's gonna I mean, never mind. I don't know why I'm saying. Lost my train of thought.
We have mentioned this in a video previously, which we'll go ahead and leave a link to that above in the video and down below in the description. But this is so important of a note to take because this will help you get the most out of your day.
And we do all know that kids tend to get a little cranky when they're hungry, and you don't want a cranky kid with you at HHN, especially.
They're gonna get cranky anyways because they're gonna get the shit scared out of them, guys. Do you not know that?
Waiting in those long lines for houses.
And speaking of long lines for the houses, you're going to want to make sure that your kids have used the restroom before you get into the line. Sometimes
some kids, even though if they use the restroom, they're still gonna piss their pants at some of the images you're going to see in that damn house.
the lines for these houses can exceed well over an hour, and most of them are actually located backstage. There are plenty of restrooms located throughout the park, so try to make it a priority of yours when you are walking around and you pass by one to always ask your kids if they need a bathroom break.
Now, our fourth major tip for your kids is to take them on some of the rides that are open during HHN. Universal does have quite a few rides that they leave open during the event, like The Mummy, Transformers, and Rip Ride Rocket, to name a few, and this will not only help diversify your kids' experience, but also will give them a break from some of the scares.
And one of the great things about HHN is that the rides usually have a very, very low wait time. What I mean by that is most of the time you won't see any of those rides exceed a 10-minute wait, so it's an easy walk right in and get right on the ride situation.
I've never been to these places, so I don't know, but judging by how extreme some of the haunts are, maybe wouldn't want to know how extreme the damn rides are, and the fact that they don't. These seem like good, sweet people. It's just I wouldn't. No, no. The answer is no. You should not take your kids to this, unless you want to give them horrific images in their damn heads.
However, not all of the rides are actually operational during the event, and the ones that are operational, they actually have different closing times than the event's closing time. So we'll be doing a video down the road to explain more on the attractions that are open during Halloween Horror Nights in the future.
And then our fifth and final major tip is to play some Carnival Games. So Halloween Horror Nights will actually have some pop-up booths of Carnival Games that you can play and win prizes that are actually special to the event.
Yeah, not only is it fun just for your kids to play games, but it's also very rewarding for them to win one of those little rewards that they have at these booths.
Yeah. And these different prizes they can actually carry with them through the houses, and it will give them some sort of comfort, and they can hide their faces with them if it gets a little too scary.
Kids love receiving gifts, especially winning them at one of these booths. They kind of get this little sense of accomplishment, and it's a good little souvenir, so when they get back home, they know they had a good time at this event.
So the kids are gonna bring home a stuffed animal of Chucky or Michael Myers or what's her face Chance, and they're gonna go home and they're gonna remember that shit because you're gonna have that doll staring at them right in their damn soul. I don't know. I'd love to go though to one of these this year on Halloween, but.
Alright everybody, so those are our 5 tips for bringing your kids to HHN. Of course, these are our own opinions from our own experiences at HHN. We have seen kids at the event absolutely love to go through the houses and the scare zones. So you know your kid better than anybody else, so you're ultimately going to make that decision for them.
And if any of you guys have some other great tips or ideas that we haven't mentioned as well, we would love to hear back from you, so let us know down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, and maybe we'll catch you and your little ones in the fog.
Bye!
Bye, guys. I'm a little one, and I go to horror nights too. Take me to horror nights.
Don't take your dog either. No, sorry. I never take my kid to that haunted house. Maybe even if I had a kid, I don't have a kid. I have a niece and a little brother, as I mentioned before. But I take them once they're like 18 or older. Which is what I do have a pamphlet of the event. It says on there it shouldn't be for kids. You know, it says on the pamphlet, but yeah, they take their kids anyway. Crazy. So yeah, once again, thank you so much. Don't Eat My Pizza. I love that name, by the way. Thank you for the paid request. I appreciate it very much. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, guys. Later.